Darling, for Christmas it's diamonds, because diamonds are forever.
Making mud pies, 007. Get his gun.
Welcome to hell, Blofeld.
It's your Christmas present.
Diamonds are forever. They are all I need to please me. They can stimulate and tease me. They won't leave in the night. I've no fear that they might desert me. Diamonds are forever. Hold one up and then caress it. Touch it, stroke it and undress it. I can see every part. Nothing hides in the heart to hurt me. I don't need love. For what good will love do me? Diamonds never lie to me. For when love's gone, they'll last on. Diamonds are forever, sparkling round my little finger. Unlike men, the diamonds linger. Men are mere mortals who are not worth going to your grave for. I don't need love. For what good will love do me? Diamonds never lie to me. For when love's gone, they last on. Diamonds are forever, forever, forever. Diamonds are forever, 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 forever.
If God had wanted man to fly, he would have given him wings, Mr. Kidd. Hey James Bond fans, I am bored now. I am back here today to talk about the 7th James Bond movie, Diamonds Are Forever, from 1971. Yes, I continue my long run through of the franchise. I am going to do every James Bond movie ever. That is a promise. So this 7th Bond film was released on the 14th of December 1971 in West Germany initially. Not sure why they got it first. It was then released on the 17th in the USA, and it's got its UK premiere on the 30th of December. The film was directed by Guy Hamilton. This was his second of 4 Bond films. The producers originally asked Peter Hunt, who directed On Her Majesty's Secret Service, but he had other commitments. The screenplay is by Richard Mannenbaum and Tom Malkiewicz, known for Superman the movie and TV's Heart to Heart. So once again, it stars Sean Connery as Bond. We also get Jill St. John as the Bond girl, Charles Gray as Blofeld, Lara Wood, Jimmy Dean and Bruce Corbett amongst the cast. It's 120 minutes long, and the film grossed 160 million from a budget of 7.2 million, so another big success. After Lazenby left, the producers tested other actors, but United Artists wanted Connery back. He was paid a then record 1.25 million to play Bond for the sixth and final time officially in a 007 movie. Diamonds Are Forever is adapted from Ian Fleming's 1956 novel. The producers were inspired to return to some of the colour slickness of Goldfinger. Hamilton directed that one too. Shirley Bassey, who was fast becoming the queen of 007, was again hired to perform the title theme. Once again, striking gold with a passionate, dynamic theme, bringing a personal feminine power to the film. Like her Goldfinger theme, Diamonds Are Forever has become one of the most beloved title themes of the franchise. Commercially, it wasn't as successful as Goldfinger though, which had reached the UK top 10. This single peaking at number 38, it reached 57 stateside. The film was nominated for Best Sound at the Academy Awards. Bond impersonates a diamond smuggler to infiltrate a smuggling ring and uncovering a plot by his old rival Ernest Stelville Blofeld, Charles Gray, to use the diamonds to build a space-based laser weapon. Bond sets out to stop the smuggling, but discovers he must defeat Blofeld before he destroys Washington DC in his plan to blackmail the world with nuclear supremacy. Blofeld really would get along in 2026.
I don't need love, for what good will love do me? Diamonds never lie to me.
Jill St. John as Tiffany Case made history as the first American Bond girl. Ricky Gervais once cracked the reason Bond had such luck with the ladies is because they were foreign and couldn't understand his corny pickup lines. In the run-up to the biggest role of her career, St. John was a child actress debuting on stage as young as 5. In 1957, she signed a 7-year picture deal with Universal worth $200 a week. St. John was 16 at the time, not bad, hey? Her first major film was Summer Love, co-starring John Saxon. She starred in a venture film The Lost World, 1960, and beat Jane Fonda to a role in Tender Is the Night in 1962. She was Golden Globe nominated for her role starring opposite Frank Sinatra in Come Blow Your Horn, 1963. At the time, St. John admitted that she was a comedian. I've never pretended to be a dramatic actress, but I'm very funny. A series of films with comedy legend Jerry Lee Lewis was a disappointing experience for the actress. Despite having great respect for Lewis, St. John said he was very difficult to work with. At this time, St. John was being typecast as mistress type. St. John met her future husband Robert Wagner on made-for-TV film How I Spent My Summer Vacation in 1967. They would have appeared together again 30 years later in a popular episode of Seinfeld, the Lada Lada, from the penultimate season of that show. St. John's other TV roles included playing the Riddler's mole, Molly, in 2 episodes of the Batman TV series, becoming the first character to die on that show, The Big Valley, The Name of the Game, Fantasy Island, and later as a series regular on primetime soap opera Emerald Point NAS. Not long after a starring role in the film The Concrete Jungle in the 80s, John retired from acting, moving to Aspel to focus on her interests, skiing and cooking. She was once announced as the oldest woman ever on a ski lift. She released her cooking book later also. Her last acting credit was playing Mrs. Claus in 2014 TV movie North Pole, again teaming with Wagner, who played Santa Claus. She ran unsuccessfully for the seat on the board of the Aspirin Fire Department in 2023. In between marriages, St. John was said to have dated everyone from Michael Caine, Sean Connery, George Lazenby, Tom Selleck, Roman Polanski, and Henry Kissinger. Her and Wagner have been married since 1990. As drug smuggler Tiffany Case, St. John was a different kind of Bond girl, more argumentative, abrasive, and brash compared to the more exotic, composed girls before. Critics claimed Tiffany was meant to be a stereotypical commentary on American women. In a 2015 poll, Case was ranked the 9th out of the 25 best Bond girls. In 2023's Men's Journal named Case the 11th of their all-time list. Case was a more feisty, business-like Bond girl, but in an uneven film ended up becoming the more playful and ditzy. At times she could be too abrasive and distracting, a little bit annoying in the film's finale, but her comic chops did shine through also. Her reaction when she thinks James Bond is dead after the real Bond masquerading as a smuggler has killed the real diamond smuggler is choice.
My God! You just killed James Bond!
Is that who it was? Well, it just proves no one's indestructible.
You don't kill James Bond and sit around waiting for the cops to arrive. We've got to get those diamonds out of here and fast.
All the stuff at the casino. Making a Bond girl part of the team and giving her material outside of the interactions with Bond was novel for the time.
All right, that's the way to do it. Oh, look at that! And we have another winner. Annie Oakley on the end, huh? Here we are. What an eye, what a night.
Wait a second, hold it. I saw the whole thing. The machine's fixed. Who's she, your mother? Blow up your pants. You're supposed to have 24 to win that dog.
Will you give it a rest, kid, huh? All right.
I think one of the charms of the character is that she thinks she's more suave and sophisticated than she really is, but in reality is in over her head, and the facade slowly comes down, which is quite fun to watch.
Is Mr. Case not at home?
There is no Mr. Case. The T is for Tiffany.
Wasn't you blonde when I came in?
Could be.
We'll talk about that later. Let me have your glass.
I don't dress for the hired help. Let's see your passport, Franks. We can start by saving the cute remarks until after you get the diamonds into Los Angeles.
We'll see later on where I think Tiffany Case ranks amongst Bond girls, but she certainly was quite entertaining at times. Charles Gray became the 3rd person to play arch-villain Blofeld, head of Spectre. Never quite pays off, really. He's certainly solid in the movie, but the role is very underwritten in this one. He plays him almost as a sarcastic, evil game show host, and I wasn't quite sure if he's not quite right for the role, if his heart wasn't in the movie. It's more the script, and I put it a bit more down to the script probably. As I said on another video, he does appear in a much smaller role in a previous Bond film, in You Only Live Twice, and he actually played a good guy in that. For whatever reason, this is a bit of an awkward performance from him. He's very much straight-jacketed in the film, where he's overshadowed by other characters and also storylines. He doesn't quite have the presence of the previous Blofelds, nor the sense of fun that Savalas brought to the role, even though that Blofeld was a little bit more tongue-in-cheek and comical. I think overall Savalas just brought a bit more personality. He was at least allowed to become more the centre of a focus in that film. It's also hard not to think of Gray's memorable turn as the narrator in Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
It seemed a fairly ordinary night when Brad Majors and his fiancée, Janet Weiss, two young, ordinary, healthy kids, left Denton that late November evening to visit a Dr. Everett Scott.
Gray and the character of Blofeld gets to shine mostly nearer the end of the movie.
Well, well, well. I do so hate martial music. You guessed correctly. That box contained the master satellite control tape, and you came aboard presumably hoping to substitute this for the real thing. Case has taken a terribly reasonable attitude about all this. Like any sensible animal, she's only threatening when she's threatened.
Like down to the dragon lady over here.
Jealousy? From you, Mr. Bond? I'm flattered. Power and breathing systems on. Release catches open. Wake up, man, lower away. You stupid idiot, you're going to kill me. Disengage. Lower. Not up. Damn you. Command center, come in.
In a solid career as a character actor, Gray also appeared in films such as The Entertainer, 1960, The Night of the Generals, 1967, The Devil Rides Out, 1968, Theatre of Blood, 1973, and The Mirror Cracked, 1980. Speaking of Blofeld being overshadowed in this one, that brings us to the very memorable Mr. Wint and Mr. Kidd, who honestly are probably some of the highlights of this movie. So they're the quirky but ruthless gay hitmen played by Bruce Glover and Putter Smith. They at times feel more like main characters, or main villains I should say, than Blofeld does, even though they're in and out of the film too. They certainly have more memorable scenes than Blofeld. Wit is played by character actor Bruce Glover, who appeared in some other big films including Chinatown, Walking Tall and Hard Times. Putter Smith, outside of his Bond villain role, is better known as a jazz musician, also a music teacher and author. The two have great chemistry and work as a pairing because they are the opposite to one another. Wit, the more calculated, dry one, Kidd, the cuddly one, but with the muscle. By the way, not bad gay representation for the time. Certainly better than this.
Look at this. It's an antique. It's all handmade and I love the inlay. Yes, me too. It's gorgeous, completely.
A half a lager for Sir, and a Caribbean stallion for Mandingo. Oh, you're from Jersey, are you? Enjoy your stay.
Mr. Wint and Mr. Kidd have some of the most quotable lines in the movie, maybe in any Bond movie. It says something that even though they're basically comedy characters, they have gone down in Bond history as fan favourites.
The Scorpion. Mother Nature's finest killer, Mr. Wint. One is never too old to learn from a master, Mr. Kidd.
Curious how everyone who touches those diamonds seems to die.
If God had wanted man to fly,
He would have given him wings, Mr. Kidd.
Mrs. Whistler did want some pictures of the canals for the children.
How kind of you, Mr. Kidd. Very moving.
Heartwarming, Mr. Wint.
A glowing tribute, Mr. Kidd.
We didn't get the real diamonds, so we need Tree. Alive.
That's most annoying.
If at first you don't succeed, Mr. Kidd.
Try again, Mr. Wint.
La d'utopia. Pièce de résistance. Bombe surprise.
Glover and Smith bring the characters to life, even if their attempts to kill Bond always seem so half-hearted. A pity, as killing a man with a scorpion, blowing up a helicopter, and killing a friendly old school teacher and dumping her body in the canal was such a promising start. The comical final battle with Bond on a cruise starts a trend of 007 thinking he can relax after taking out the main villain, only for the henchmen to pop up for one last fight. This normally takes place on a mode of transport. There's a classic example coming up next time in Live and Let Die. A lot of the situations involving Kidd, Wint and Bond sum up the problem with the film, and that is that a lot of their plans amount to Bond being unconscious. Normally someone else has already done it beforehand or something has caused it, and they leave him somewhere where seemingly he is about to be killed by something. So, for example, the underground tunnel coffin where they send it off to be cremated. But their plan just relies on the fact that he won't wake up in time or someone won't save him. So with the coffin, he wakes up, he can't get out of it, but the guy happens to come along at the right time and stop it. They're entertaining characters. You get too many of those kinds of scenes where Bond just escapes by luck and by good fortune. The villains aren't really doing that much to become a threat to him. The more I think about this film, the more I think it's a shambling mess and kinda dumb. Starting with the choppy opening scene where Bond jumps from location to location and racial stereotype to racial stereotype looking for Blofeld. When he beats up the racial stereotypes, let's just call him Moroccan in the casino guy, and demands he tell him where Blofeld is, the guy just replies, "Ask Marie." Ask Marie? Marie who? He doesn't give a surname, or where Bond can find Marie, at least not in the scene. Marie who? Marie from the corner shop? Somehow Bond finds the bikini-clad Marie and gives her one of his weaker one-liners before forcing her to tell him where the villain is. Somehow Bond ends up in the right spot. As messy as the opening is, the payoff scene with Bond and the fake Blofeld is a lot of fun. The plastic surgery twist is at least novel and adds a bit of mystery. The plastic surgery, a novel thing in the 70s, I'm guessing, and a smart comment on the aging cast and Hollywood looking to cling on to its youth. Unfortunately, that's as good as things get for the Blofeld plot, which just becomes more convoluted as the film goes on, with all the bait and switches and gimmicks added.
Making mud pies, 007. He would have been me in a matter of days, if you'd given the poor fellow a chance.
Welcome to hell, Blofeld.
Now that was pretty cool. Fake Blofeld took a nice long bath. Before I go any further, the reason Bond is looking for Blofeld is because of Tracy's death at the end of the previous film on Her Majesty's Secret Service. You can find my review of that on the channel also. Or at least that's the reason given in the plot synopsis and would have been a logical reason. But you could have fooled me because Bond never mentions Tracy's name once during the film and doesn't even seem to be mourning her at this point. Even a brief line once he believes Blofeld is dead would have done. But no, it's just business as usual, and this is a much more tongue-in-cheek version of Connery's Bond, as you saw there. This overstuffed, messy opening sums up a film with too much going on, too many characters and villain plans that don't make a lot of sense. For example, what was the point of the washed-up comedian being used as a go-between in the funeral parlour scene? And the money Bond Franks picks up are fake, so are the diamonds. It seems like these go-between characters could be anyone, including members closer to the main crooks, people who would draw less attention to themselves. They also add to the number of people Kidd and Wint have to kill later. I know villains in these films don't tend to care about killing random people, but it still seems like bringing unwanted attention. And let's face it, it's not like the washed-up comedian dude was that vital to the plan. One smart line from his terrible stand-up routine, which I'm assuming was bad on purpose, is the one about Willard White's whereabouts being a top secret. A hint that the baddies have him hidden, and Blofeld, with plastic surgery and a voice changer, is mimicking him to pull off his world-dominating plan. Jimmy Dean stars as the white, southern-fried casino owner and business mogul Willard White, who had his identity stolen by the devious Blofeld. Only in the early 70s could such a character be portrayed as an innocent, dumb and wholesome country bumpkin. By the way, Dean was best known as a country music singer and entertainer, hosting his own television show in the 60s, a show which gave legendary puppeteer Jim Henson his first national exposure. Dean's first music hit was Bumming Around in 1953. He also had minor hits for Columbia, including Little Shady Sling. Best known hit would be Big Bad John, about her heroic miner, which sold over 1 million copies. His popular radio show out of Washington gave breaks to the likes of Patsy Cline and Roy Clark. Dean even had his own sausage company, Jimmy Dean's Sausage Company, started with his brother. He had been nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame right before his death, aged 81. Step aside JR, here's Willard White.
FBI? CIA?
No, British intelligence, Mr. White. James Bond.
I see you met my friend Bambi and Thumper.
Yes, we did have a bit of a chat.
What the hell's happened to me, and what can I do about it?
Saxby.
Bert Saxby?
Yeah.
Tell him he's fired.
World's leading expert on laser refraction. A committed idealist to peace. And how in the hell Blofeld got his hooks in him, I will never know. How did he get security clearance to work here in the first place?
Well, from you, sir.
I'm sure I must have told you not to keep the usual duplicate microfilm records of the project.
Exactly, sir.
Tom, what did I tell you to do with this?
Send it to Vandenberg, sir.
Well, get him on the phone now.
This is the real honor, sir.
Shove, Your Honor. Where's that satellite I sent down there?
Blasted off 24 minutes ago, sir. Perfect trajectory. All systems go. We expect to enter orbit right on the nose.
Wait, something's happened.
Just a moment, Mr. White.
The scanners have gone crazy. Premature first stage separation.
It doesn't make sense.
Stand by to abort. As if it had a will of its own.
And there's not a damn thing we can do about it at the moment.
Whatever it is, your friend Blofeld's controlling it now.
Blofeld could be anywhere on this map. From Alaska to Florida, from Maine to Oregon, from Texas to Baja California.
Baja? I haven't got a thing at Baja.
Dean does bring quite a lot of personality to the film and is quite good fun as a comic relief character, to be fair. By the way, even though he's from Texas, he is still kind of a southern stereotype. Well, if he's a southern stereotype, you haven't seen anything yet. Just wait for Live and Let Die for that. You notice how Bond was totally ineffectual in killing Bert Saxby. He was just online to deliver lines from the peanut gallery. So when it comes to Connery in this movie, he really isn't giving it his all. I'll give him some credit. He does have some good one-liners, so his comic timing sort of shines through, and he's got a little bit of the old Connery charm to him. But yeah, he is coasting through this movie, really. One of his best lines and one of the best Bond gags is the one about Peter O'Toole.
Hi, I'm Plenty.
But of course you are.
Plenty O'Toole.
Named after your father, perhaps?
In another bizarrely entertaining scene, the washed-up, bumbling Bond gets his ass handed to him pretty much by Bambi and Thumper, the 70s answer to feminism.
I'm Bambi.
And I'm Thumper. Is there something we can do for you? Oh, Willie. Why, he's right out there. You're gonna have a ball. All yours, Bambi. You're on again, Bambi.
Willard White is about to be executed, and guess who's giving breaststroke lessons?
Still haven't found out.
And you know the film is really running out of steam when they resort to the super cringe and cheesy space buggy scene. Yeah, I can't believe it neither. So Diamonds Are Forever, it's a weird Bond film. It's all over the shop. You've got a disappointing villain, one or two good ideas in his plot, but really the actor wasn't quite up to the task, and the character was so miswritten, and you got so many random other things thrown in the mix. It's a shambles, really, but it's a very watchable shambles. There's some great visual scenes. Connery has a couple of good one-liners. Jill St. John is a perfectly good Bond girl. She brings something a little different to the part. You've also got a very strong, iconic Bond theme from Shirley Bassey. So overall, it's not terrible. There's some fun with the gay hitmen, Mr. Wint and Mr. Kidd, who have definitely gone down in history more than this version of Blofeld. So 5.5 for Connery's last official Bond outing. I will be covering his spoof Bond movie, Never Say Never Again, for some bonus content in the future. But coming up next time in the James Bond franchise.
When you were young and your heart was
was an open book. You used to say, live and let live.
Yes, a new James Bond era as the outlandish Roger Moore experiment begins. This new daredevil posh camp Bond goes deep undercover in the African jungles to bring down drug kingpin Mr. Big, aka Dr. Kananga, as the franchise dives into the black exploitation subgenre, dark magic and tarot cards in a film that really ups the stunts. It's more Wings and Jane Seymour in Live and Let Die, the debut Roger Moore Bond film. The review coming soon on the channel. In the meantime, let me know what you think of this film, Diamonds Are Forever. Do you agree with my review? Let me know any thoughts you have on anything I've talked about in the comments. And I look forward to rewatching and bringing you my review of Live and Let Die coming up soon on the channel. I might even have a special guest for that review. But thanks everyone, take care, keep watching James Bond films, and I'll see you again soon.
Everything you've ever loved in a Bond film. More thrills, more excitement, more chills, and more. Roger Moore as James Bond 007 in Live and Let Die. Don't miss the boat, or you'll miss the most exciting Bond film of all. Live and Let Die.